My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Let's pause this. Why is the standing in front of the other judges? She looks like a giant. Oh, so that's probably with the chef Meghan's appearance of the cooking show. Is it supposed to be a position of honor? I read she got a six-figure appearance fee. Real royals don't work for money. Real royals get money. And a bag from shady characters. His Majesty the King must remove those titles. So many shade is being thrown in this caption. This one, where is it? Money and bags. That's Charles, who received money from some shady character. And there was supposed to be an investigation about it, and that investigation went under the rug. Right. Oh baby, this store has you all in tantrum, teasy. Do you need to get your blankie or soothing from sobbing Jabson? He may have stopped hyperventilating by now. Someone needs to write a series about a troll or reporter or two descending into madness or further into madness. Should it be a drama or slapstick comedy? Baby Deranger, that was shady. Yeah, it was. Especially the part with the money and the bag. Next one. We don't know if Meghan is getting paid for showing up at that show. Probably. Okay, I don't know. Okay, me, when my fellow Derangers show up on my post. Baby Deranger, I'm impressed. I did not know that you could dance in between your whining. Baby D, your fellow Derangers can't dance. They have no rhythm. I know they are. There's this stay mad. Oh my god. This is the security. Alright, let's go to the next one. I think this is Baby Deranger as well. I'm almost done. Two more. Okay, guys, Harry and Meghan's visit has broken the Derangers. Even they've run out of excuses for the Macbeth. Funny thing is, it's the first time I've seen some of them making any sense. Alright, let's see this here. 1. This is not an excuse. The Sussexes have to make a living, and the truth is, no matter how much they fail and how much their brand crumbles, they are still making an effort with their work. Bingo! Okay, and that is a lot more than William and Catherine do. Alright, so she was retweeting that. I don't know who these people are. I don't follow Derangers. The moment I see their nonsense come under my timeline, I block if I have the time. Alright, the Huckers arrange these things around the British school holiday because they know William and Catherine are spending time with their children. I mean, how do you explain this? So let's say, for instance, I'm here in the middle of the night. It's 5:51 right now. Because I'm doing this right now, and if I know you exist somewhere around the world, you interfering with whatever nonsense that I'm doing over here. Therefore, your life should stop doing whatever it is that you're doing because I'm doing this over here. This is so freaking ridiculous. Are these people for real? So that was a response to this where the squad said this one finally making sense. Not this one. The one above. The one that says one. This is not an excuse. Obviously, they need to make money. Like I said in one video, even if they stay in a corner, okay? They find a corner and stay there and mind their own business. They still have to pay for the damn corner. Nothing is free. The government makes sure of that. So they have to make a living to pay for that corner. Alright, it broke them. Alright, so the thing continue. I read one already. This is two. You bash her children and her work, yet she still continued to put herself out there. I've said this before. What Meghan is doing, it is very risky. And I'm glad she has that self-confidence to do what she does. Because anything, they even trash her when she's minding her own business. If the thing fail, the embarrassment that will go. But at least people well-minded will say, at least you try. But she still put herself out there. So this, I agree completely. This may not be a devenger. Maybe it's a well-minded person who's responding to a devenger. All right, you bash her children and her work, yet she still continues to put herself out there, but make loads of excuses for Catherine's absence from work because she's taking care of her children that are no longer toddlers, children who have a nanny. Children who are in school for a greater part of Monday to Friday. The holiday breaks will make sense if they work while the children are at school, but they don't. Leave people who are failing peacefully in Montecito. There's that. 4. If William and Catherine were giving you enough content with their work, you won't be chasing after Montecito crumbs. No, this person cannot be a devenger. She's probably responding to a devenger's content. Even when Catherine comes out to work, you leave the work and focus on her hair and dress. Please, I'm offline for a while. All right, there's that here. Okay. Did it occur to these idiots that Harry and Meghan also take their children to school daily and only travel when their children are on holiday vacation? School years are pretty similar in the US and UK, so August and April are best for travel for Harry and Meghan. This has nothing to do with the wankers. So you out of the 12 months of the year that Billy and Kitty are rusticating and vacationing, you only pick 2. How economical. I saw this a few days ago and I was shocked. A devenger made a lick of sense laughing my ass off. So I don't follow them, so I don't know if this person who's melanated Mona. So I don't know if she's a devenger or something, but she's making sense to me here. So what is that here? I read this. Workshire Willie and Duchess Doolittle, the Queen gave them those names for a reason. When a frail 90-year-old and an 80-year-old are doing more than the Wells, that says it all. Okay. Do the Rangers really expect Sussexes to arrange their life, work, and charity visit to fit around the UK school holiday? That's so freaking weird. If Harry and Meghan had to stay indoor every time the William and Kate were on holidays, they will never be able to leave the house. Don't you just love it for them? One squaddy has just described the Derangers meltdown as them either throwing up or sliding down the walls. Perfect description. Sensible to have the Sussexes working during the school holidays because if was any other time, the Wells will be overshadowed. All right. Yeah, they timed that thing very precise. Yeah, while the kids are at school, hey, they're doing something else. During the holiday, they spend time with the kids. Spring break just finished. Last week, I went on vacation with the family. Spring break. And this is where Archie, I think, a little bit before, maybe California spring break might be slightly a week ahead from where I live. So they went skiing with the kids. All right, this opinion piece by Paul Baldwin represents a classic example of status quo anxiety, which is a defense reaction from an establishment that realizes its monopoly on soft power is being dismantled. The hate and the shame found in the Express article is the sound of a dying narrative. The author called the Sussexes a Victorian circus freak show, yet it is the monarchy that remains the ultimate Victorian relic and inherited hierarchy in a democratic age. The Sussexes' private visit is a threat because it demonstrates a post-royal model, which is one of impact without entitlement. The article is not a critique of Harry and Meghan, but rather it is a panic eulogy for an institution that realizes its charade is no longer convincing the world, least of all the people of Australia. Abolish the monarchy. This is a screenshot. And this tawdry freak show, Harry and Meghan circus, is now damaging Britain. Well, it's like they say here, it's pretty much showing the way that those royals could move on with their life without taking taxpayers' money. there is a shift that's going on here. When you see what's happening in the Middle East and what the U.S. Trump administration is trying to do here, there's a pull and push that's going on. So we shall see. All right. It's hard to explain if you're not paying attention. It's really hard to explain. Alright, the latest spectacle looks harmless from afar, but it hides a gut punch that lands right on the one symbol Britain still needs intact. Alright, so that's a shade throwing here, letting the British royal family look. You're on a shaky ground right now. There's Harry and Meghan doing these things for free that you guys claim you're taking millions of pounds from people, from taxpayers' money, where their impact, Harry and Meghan's impact, is more powerful, more rewarding than what the paying royal family are doing. All right, what a stupid symbol. He can be speaking of the leftovers who are on their way out. You're also right. Their defense mechanism is they can't stop the adulation shown to Harry and Meghan. The way that I'm seeing it here, it's like a warning to the royal family. That's the way that I see it. They don't want to say it, but they're saying it. Okay? It's like, look, there's Harry and Meghan doing impactful things without taking a dime from the taxpayers. Like, and I'm probably gonna have part 2 in this recording. Earlier on, there's a video of a journalist who literally highlight that Harry and Meghan was out and about. There was no motorcade. The journalist literally highlight that. Said there was no motorcade. There was no police escort. There they are doing their thing, taking, with their own security. So this, I think, it's whoever wrote it is trying to throw the alarm bell to the royal family in the UK. Look, there's Harry doing the same thing that you are doing in a much better way, in a much cheaper way. So be ready, brace yourself. All right, that's the warning. Okay, there's a thing here. When you know something is coming, you brace yourself. It will not hurt you as much when you're not aware of it. So this is a warning that I think, in my perspective. Let me know what you think, and please put the timestamp. All right, what stupid symbol? He can be speaking of the leftovers who are on their way out. You're so right. Their defense mechanism is they can stop the adulation shown to Harry and Meghan. They have outed their fear. Why pay for on royals when Harry and Meghan do it better without costing the taxpayers a dime? Yeah, it's weird that in 2026, a whole century and a quarter after the death of Victoria, he still identified Britain with the monarchy. Isn't Britain bigger than that yet? It's desperate cry. If UK is Charles, things are bad because no one cares about him. But the fact is, reality. We cannot dismiss reality. The institution, the monarchy, the British royal family is still relevant to the UK. Relevant in the sense that they're still taking taxpayers' money. They're still there as part of the institution. That's reality. All right? They didn't abolish the monarchy yet. So they're still there. So we have to take this into consideration. Alright, so until they remove them, then that's a different story. Nope, Harry and Meghan in Australia. They are in panic mode. That I believe, yes. And I love that for them. Yeah, I think this is what this screenshot is saying. Let's pause this. All about power, money. Media like us to think the bad guys are the old, disabled, working class. Good guys, big business, non-dumbs. God forbid Harry and Meghan can fund themselves, pay tax. That's bad. Wouldn't want the rich royals to pay taxes or fund themselves, have their privacy like Andy. Brilliantly put. What is it? What is he talking about? How will it be accomplished? Harry is a prince. His father is the king. Strip their titles. They still have their titles. They still have their titles. The Derangers want the titles to be removed. All right, strip their titles and Harry's still a prince. Okay, so there it is. Okay, I misread it. Strip their titles, Harry is still a prince. They will continue to be wealthy, do charity work, and travel where they like. But them and the power, what the F? Okay, Okay, after this, that's it. They want the Andrew and Fergie stories buried. William and Kate can't upstage Harry and Meghan because they're on another taxpayer-funded vacation. Besides, William isn't as cooperative and Charles looking like, was it Ebenezer Scrooge? Whilst up the Republican movement, the tabloid media is baffled. Alright, next tweet. This is my last one. If I come across more tweets, it will be on another video, probably later on today. Alright, so let's pause this. The royal family are weak. Alright, 1 minute and 9 seconds.
There's an important issue about Queen Camilla on this visit because she is scheduled to visit violence against male violence against women and girls survivors, which she does on all her domestic visits here in the UK, but also when she goes abroad. Remember, she met Giselle Pellico in Clarence House, you know, and
yes,
hugged her and wrote to her after her amazing standing up for her rights in France.
Of all things, of all charity, all causes that are out there, this is the one she tried to associate herself with after what she has done to Princess Diana. I think this is what she's trying to do. If she's trying to associate herself with, you know, people against violence and all of that, that's because she has done that to Princess Diana. Now, before she exits this world, she wants to be seen. This is the cause that she supports. She was all for that. She's playing the people. After what she has done to Princess Diana, you could understand why she's doing this thing. It's just a performance. Obviously, it's a performance. But let's continue.
And therefore, and she's been asked to meet the Epstein victims. And I think it would be very good if, as well as meeting other victims of male violence, which she's scheduled to do anyway, she does meet the Epstein victims. And what a message that would send to all around the world about how the UK really believes that there must be an end to male abuse of women and girls. It would be so important.
That we and the royal family are not solely represented by the former Prince Andrew.
Well, I think it almost goes beyond Prince Andrew, and I think that the King has made it absolutely clear that he's having nothing to do with Prince Andrew.
Oh, please. Well, Charles, please. The only... Okay, couple things. There's the thing when Meghan was dealing with her mental health thing. Where was Camilla's voice in that? If she said something when Meghan's mental health thing came out, I would have said something. If Camilla had come out and speak to support Meghan or push the media to stop talking about Meghan mental health and things like that, maybe I would have a different view. But when you look at Jeremy Clarkson, when he wrote his nonsense, what did happen? What did Camilla do? Have dinner with these people. Okay? So Camilla is just playing the whatever nonsense she's playing and what she did to Princess Diana. The other thing as well, if she truly mean or support women against male violence and all of that with the Epstein, there's the opportunity here. Nobody from the Epstein list have gone to jail. If she truly care about that, I would like to see her advocate. Go beyond what is required. Go to Parliament. Talk to push for arrest of those men who are on the Epstein list. Things that they have done to these women. That's the only reason or the only way I would say, okay, maybe she mean what she said. Or maybe she's sorry for what she did to Princess Diana. Whatever. Okay? She's not doing none of this. It's just nonsense. Place her name over there, here and there, and show up and cut ribbons and pretend she's care for them. But the footwork, the real work that needs to be done, if she goes beyond that, okay, advocate for arrest of these men who did what they did to children and women and all of that, then I will say, okay, she mean what she said. But none of that. There's a lot of opportunity for Camilla to do something. But she's not doing all of that. Let's see here. LBC Royal Family this month. Camilla will be with Donald Trump, who is mentioned in the Epstein file and 38,000 instances. Meghan has been subject to okay, this is what I was saying. Horrific tweets exposed. Why won't the royal family condemn these abusive attacks on her? She is a woman, wife, and mom. Okay, so if you want to read this, you could pause and read. This is exactly what I was saying. Okay? The Jeremy Clarkson thing in particular, where was she? Where were they, the royal family, to speak, you know, to stop that? The whole family still support Andrew. Yeah, of course they do. I don't need to read all of this. I said what I had to say, and I'm already close to an hour, and there's gonna be 2 parts to this. Maybe the first part will be on Pt2, the second part will be on APTS Sussex, because of some of the discussion that I mentioned here. I discuss here. Okay, so some people are liking the thing that I respond to this. All right, let me play this again, because I think I had this on part 1. This man is a gem, Aussie reporter on the ground, basically. Yeah, or being gas. Okay, I read it already. You could pause and read, but let's listen to what he said, and then I'll read what I wrote.
Harry and Meghan are here being spoken with by some representatives from the Career Heritage Trust. And this is not a public event. This was not an advertised event, but we are near, we'll just swing around quickly, near the Yarra River here. In the distance there, something that I have seen only today for the first time in the 3 days that they've been in Melbourne, and that is police. Before Harry and Meghan arrived, there was a lot of discussion about, well, who's going to pay for the police escorts and the motorcades, and who's going to look at, you know, will that be the taxpayer? There have been no motorcades, there have been no police, they've been travelling in 2 Range Rovers, but this is the first time I've seen them, and I would suspect that they maybe were in the area, and this is probably the most, though, exposed that they have been during their 3 days here. Everything else has been pretty much indoors and by invitation only. Harry and Meghan are here.
It's playing over. This is my comment here. Glad he, the reporter, highlight about the security situation. No murder kids is a very important thing to highlight for the who's paying for their security bunch, Derangers, and the 2 securities were probably in the area anyway, doing their regular or typical or usual work. All right, so he highlight these things because this is the noise the Derangers are making for Harry being in Australia. So far, 9 people like it. Like I have said, I don't know which part of this video recording that I have said that Harry and Meghan and their security probably assess the day, the situation, the vibe, the feel, the surrounding. Is it safe to go like that? What they just did here, go and do the walk at that particular place. So based on the assessment of the day, they probably felt it was safe. We may not see them do that again. That's what I think. All right, so that's that. So please take a moment to subscribe. Like, oh, there it is here. I put that on the tweet short video. All right, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so let me get back to day 2. We are in day 3 already, but I'm behind in editing. All right, so that's it. Turn to Pt2 to see more of videos and things like that. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
we ask for forgiveness and please come back.